friends, I'm back. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Krystal, better known as your Leo bestie. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and like and subscribe on this video. And also, I do have an Instagram and a TikTok where I am posting more of daily content and trying to just keep up with this whole posting thing and seeing what I like better. I also have something in store for you guys that is to come soon. So please stay tuned for that. And again, I appreciate you for being here. And I'm just going to dive right into the next video. So if you are new here, I am posting weekly videos of the steps that I took on how to heal my inner child. And if you are not new here and you're coming back, I am going to move on to step number 14. I always forget what step I'm on. And I do just want to add in here that it doesn't matter what step I'm on. If it's overwhelming you, I would just say like take a break and stop at like step number 1. Start wherever you want, because the steps are to be there to be able to suit you and to whatever is going to work best for you. I am posting 4 videos in English, and then on the 4th video I'm taking a break in the videos in Spanish, because not only do people that speak English need to heal their inner child, but also people that speak Spanish. This isn't something that's very targeted to anybody. As far as like everything I've read and everything that like comes out and just studies and stuff, it's we all have a hurt inner child within if we don't know how to regulate our emotions and really work with our feelings and what we're feeling. With talking about this video, I'm going to dive right into step number 14. I have a video. I'm going to link it somewhere here on the screen in one of the steps, and it's an intro to emotions. This video is going to be a 2-part video, and it's going to go more deep and more into talking about emotions. So if you want to get started and don't even know where to get started on emotions, this video is going to help you. And I did build an emotions tracker for you that you can now actually get on my website. And I will link it down below so that you can get that emotions tracker, able to keep track of the emotions while you're watching these videos, because it does make it a little easier when you have something there to keep you, I don't know, to keep you more organized. I guess because I'm the person that loves being organized with my stuff. So if you are that type of person, then I invented this feelings tracker so that you have it as a tool to help you during this time in starting to get in touch with your emotions, especially if you're someone like me that didn't grow up really showing emotions or being able to express my emotions. And so this is really going to help you. So go back and listen to that video if you have it. That is an intro to emotions. This is going to be that second part. And then this video, I am going to split it into 2 sections. For step number 14, what I'm going to call it is emotional immaturity. I think I've talked about it in my previous videos, don't know exactly which one, but I have talked about the emotional maturity. And before I talk about that, I do want to talk about what it looks like to be emotionally immature. And the reason that I want to bring this up is because the only way that we can heal something is if we accept it and we feel it and we notice it within ourselves. To go along with this, I'm going to start off by just naming some things that makes us emotionally immature, and then at the end I'll list some stuff that you can do apart from it until next week, and just hope and I can just hope that this is going the way that I want it to, and you guys don't have any kind of trigger that comes up. Also, I do want to add in here, if you do get triggered, that is okay. I think a lot of us, when we get into this work, it's a lot of work because of that reason that we've never done something new. So, and I've said it before in my videos, your brain is going to try stopping you. So the more that you don't listen to the brain and tell it like, hey, I'm safe, I can do this, I know that I can do this, the easier that it will be for you to transition into something new. And so before I get started with that emotional maturity and the signs of what that looks like, I want to give you guys a quick grounding technique, which I've mentioned this in my previous videos as well, but if you are new here, this is something that you can do whenever you are feeling that sense of nervousness or anxiety, whatever it could be, whenever you're feeling just off. This is something that you can do that is going to bring you back into the present moment. So the first thing, it's 5 of them. So the first thing is, what is 5 things that you can see? So just start naming it wherever you are. What are 5 things that you can see? The second is, what are 4 things that you can feel? So just start feeling everything in your surroundings. What is it that you can feel? Then after that is, what are three things that you can hear? What is it that you hear? Do you hear people, if you're at work, do you hear people typing? Do you hear people talking? Whatever it is, what are three things that you can hear? Next is two things that you can smell, and it could be anything. I always like grabbing my hair and just sniffing it, and then I'll sniff like my hands and just something that can bring that sense back to the present moment. The last thing is taste. What is something that I can taste? And if you're not around food or anything and you're like, I don't know what to taste, I always have my water bottle with me, so I'm always like, oh, I can taste my water bottle. If you don't have anything around you that you can taste, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. No, find an alternative. My alternative is, what is one emotion that I'm feeling? And I just like stop and I close my eyes and I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling? Where is it in my body? And what is this trying to tell me? Because most of the times when emotions or feelings come up, there's a need that we need to take care of inside of us. And the more that we ignore that need, the bigger that emotion gets. So this is where I'm trying to go with you guys, is to be able to name your emotion, feel it, and then take care of it and give it a voice, because it's really just, emotions are really just here to teach us what it is that we need. Because at the end of the day, we're human, we're going to feel, we're going to have these big emotions, but the more that we are able to really allow ourselves to feel and allow ourselves to name it and allow ourselves to see where it came from, and the more that we are able to get into a more emotional, mature state. And that is what I am trying to do with these videos, and why I am posting it is for you guys to be able to get to that state. Again, if you guys want to go back and look at the intro to emotions, I will link the first episode that I did, which is intro to emotions, and then I will just get started with this one. Some notes on this. So I'll just start on my little notes. So what is emotional immaturity? What is it? What does it mean to be emotionally immature? I read the definition that came up for me. And so for someone to be emotionally immature, they will find it hard to effectively communicate or process their emotions, and can often appear as selfish or aloof. And I think we don't really think about this, like that emotions are a big part of our lives. And I think that this is probably a reason that a lot of us search for different validations outside of us, because we're really just trying to search for that validation within. Because the more that you learn to really connect to your emotions, and really, how is it that I feel my emotions? How is it that I connect to myself? I'm going to add in here that one of the things that has helped me to connect to my emotions is to look at astrology. And I know astrology is like huge and it has so much avenues, but there are just three of them that you need to know. And just for this episode, just one thing that you need to know that is going to help you get more connected to your emotions. And so we all know you have a sun sign. Your sun sign is what you are born with. So, for example, I was born July 31st, so that means I am a Leo, so that would be considered my sun sign. That was the sign that the sun was in the moment that I was born. But another big part of astrology that people don't realize, that there's so many other little things, is your moon sign. So the moon sign is wherever the moon was, whatever sign it was in when you were born. And I'm going to take me, for example. So for me, my moon sign when I was born, so I was born and it was Leo season, and here comes this little Leo baby. But the moon at the moment I was born was in the sign Virgo. So my emotions, because the moon rules our emotions, my emotions are very much like a Virgo. So if you don't know what a Virgo is, I'll kind of explain. So Virgos are very analytical and very critical, and also very like organization and like cleanness and love helping others. And so for me, I would know that, okay, well, my emotions are very Virgo like. So I'm going to analyze every single emotion I have. For me, I know I need to analyze it. Okay, so what does it feel like? Where did it come from? What is it? And maybe if you're someone that has a Sagittarius moon. And I will tell you guys how to look this up, because if you know this information, it is going to help you a lot to get in touch with your emotions. So let's say you have a Sagittarius moon. Sagittariuses love to explore, love to find things out, are very spiritual, very connected to it's think of a Sagittarius as whatever sign it is. So the sign for a Sagittarius is a half human, half horse. So horses don't like being tamed. So again, Sagittariuses don't like being tamed. Sagittariuses love freedom. So the more, if you are a Sagittarius moon, the more that you have and allow yourself to feel that emotion freely and allow yourself like, okay, I am free to feel this emotion. Then now you know, okay, I need to allow myself the okay to and the freedom to feel this emotion. To give a brief, just like little moon thing, if you guys want to, this week I'm going to post it on my Instagram. So go to my Instagram, and this week I'm going to make little videos of whatever zodiac sign you have in your moon sign. I'm going to post it on Instagram and just give you guys a little glimpse of if you have this moon sign, how are your emotions going to come up? Because it's a lot and can go more in depth. So I'm going to leave that there and then go into what this video was going to be, which is talking about emotional immaturity. What are signs that you are an emotionally immature person? So, a person that is emotionally immature shows high defensiveness. You get offended for just little things that, if you bring up something that bothers you to someone and you get upset, or vice versa, someone brings up something to you and you get really defensive. You don't even want to cross that path of someone telling you that you did something wrong. That is really high defensiveness. The second thing is discomfort in expressing your emotions. So when someone asks you like, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" and you're just like, "Good," but you know that inside you are like dying to say this or dying to say whatever, and you don't really know how to express everything that is going on inside of your head. Something that I do recommend for someone that is in this stage of discomfort expressing your emotions is to journal about them, because the more that you understand your brain, the easier it's going to be to express it to others. So you can't really express something that you don't understand. So if you journal about your emotions and what is this emotion trying to teach me? What is this emotion trying to tell me? The easier that it will get for you to express it to other people after you express it to yourself. So I do recommend journaling with this one. The next one is difficulty tolerating other people's opinions. Shutting down or lashing out when in a conflict. So when there's a conflict and you just shut it out completely, you don't want nothing to do with it. Blaming others when things go wrong, not being able to accept responsibility, lack of communication skills, avoiding conflict, over explaining, emotional dumping, and then passive aggressive behavior. So those are just little things that go with emotional immaturity. And I'm going to give you guys this next step. The next steps that I'm going to give you guys is how to deal with emotional immaturity, something that you can do. And the first one is listen. So the first one is listen. So listen to other people that you don't agree with and seek to understand them. My favorite quote ever since I read this one book, it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Ever since I read that book, this changed my perspective of how I listen to people. And the quote says, or one of the habits, I believe, if I remember right, it's one of the habits, and it's seek to understand, not to reply. So when someone is talking to you, make sure you understand them and you're not just listening to reply. Listen to understand the place that they are coming from, because that will show you more about what the person is really telling you. Recognizing your triggers. So this one is big because once you start noticing what triggers you, it really gets you to like, okay, I know that that triggers me, so what can I do? I know that every time my husband or boyfriend does this, it triggers me, so what can I do? Pause and don't make any decisions until you're like feeling that regulated emotion. I would recommend again journaling. I can't say this enough. Journaling is a big, big part of my life because it's helped me get my thoughts in order. So when I notice that something triggers me, I journal about it and I'm just like, okay, where did this trigger come from? Where do I feel it in my body? And just write anything that comes to my head about the trigger, because most of the time, triggers are just stuck emotions in our bodies that haven't been freely felt or freely released. Next one is empathize. Empathize with others and practice accepting how others feel, even when we disagree. So, even though we disagree with someone else's opinions or someone else's emotions, like they're saying, you made me feel like this. Okay, so even though I disagree and I know that I didn't make you feel that way, I'm going to listen and I'm going to empathize with you that maybe I did make you feel that way and mean to make you feel that way. This is where I'm coming from. Just an example. Next is pause and then respond. This one is a big one for me because I would get upset and I would just start talking and saying things that I did not mean. So always pause and make an informed choice, not an emotional choice. So I would always make choices out of my anger, out of my sadness. I would make the wrong choice because I didn't know what really how to feel the emotion or how to pause or how to just really respond or even communicate. So the more that you make an informed choice, like this is going to be this, then the easier that it does get for you to be able to make better choices. A big one for this is most of the times, if you guys start noticing, we are living in cycles. This goes along more with like the moon and everything, but we live in cycles. So if you keep seeing that you keep bumping into a person that is doing a certain behavior, maybe it's a coworker that every single time you see them, they treat you this way. Okay, well now I know how this person is making me feel. Last time I dealt with it this way. How do I want to deal with it today? And the more that you start realizing these little cycles and these people that keep coming into your life over and over again, the more that you'll start seeing that when you heal that trigger from that coworker, whoever it is that treats you a certain way, the more that you'll see that that person goes away and then you're moving past these emotions and past these triggers into new ones. Because once you learn the lesson, it's over. You don't have to go there anymore. So I hope that makes sense and I can go more in depth into that one. And then this next one is accept multiple realities. So our reality is a result of our unique perspective. So realizing that every single person thinks different, feels different. So maybe because you think that they're doing this, to them it's a whole nother reality. So realizing that every single person has a different reality of how they make their own choices is going to get you to not take things so personally either, because you start seeing that people really react and treat you the way that they feel themselves. And the more that you're able to realize and come to terms with that, the better that it's going to get for you. And the last thing is to lovely reparent yourself. And that is the way that you reparent yourself is by doing some self care, discipline, having joy in your life, and having emotional regulation. And this is where the two parts of the video is going to come. So next week, I will dive into reparenting, which also goes in with emotions. This is just the second part of emotions and really starting to recognize these little things in yourself so that the more that you recognize them, the easier it is to let go of that part of yourself. So if you guys have any single question about emotional immaturity, and guys, this takes a lot. I know it does because I'm still working on it day to day. The more that you try every single day, it's like and it's another quote from a book, and it says, there's 365 days in the year, and if you do better every single day of the year, that is 1% better. So what in today I got 1% better. Today I stopped and I didn't react. That is 1% better. Great. Let's try that again tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I lashed out again. Okay, that's okay because you are allowed to do that. You are learning. Okay, so maybe I can try better next time. The more that you give yourself that empathy, because not only do you need to empathize with others, you need to empathize with yourself and just be nurturing and caring with yourself, because the more that you are, the easier it gets to be able to give that to others. Because when you want to give something to others, if you want to give them love, if you want to give them attention, if you want to anything that it is that you want to give people, remember to give it to yourself first so that you can fulfill your cup before you fulfill others. Because a lot of the times we're filling all these people's cups and so much is being spread around us, but our cup is over here dry and not hydrated, let's say. So I will leave you guys there. Again, if you guys have any questions, and please check out my website. I did spend some time doing it. I was so excited to release this for you guys. Again, the emotions tracker is on there. And then again, please send me a message if you guys have any questions. So I will end on a quick prayer and we will end there. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm just going to end by saying, and thank you, God, for allowing me to record this video. I do want you to ask to bless every single person watching this video. And I do want to ask to bless us on this day. And just the last thing is that I love you, God. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys on the next. And remember, every single day is a new opportunity to grow. And every day you can grow by 1% at least. So, what is 1% that you can do better today? I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video to anybody you think that needs to hear this. I love you guys. I will see you guys on the next. Bye.